So the Chicago Bears lose another game by one possession. They lost to the Detroit Lions 23-20. Let's fast forward all the way to the end of the game. Caleb Williams is willing and dealing late in the fourth quarter. In the second half, he's been tremendous. In the first half, he only had 35 passing yards. He found a way to go out there and end this game with 3 passing touchdowns. 3. So Caleb Williams looked very good in the second half. He takes a sack with 30 seconds left. And Matt Eberflus does not call a timeout. So instead, they run a hurry-up offense play. Basically go deep down the field and make a play, DJ Moore. You have 30 seconds remaining if you call a timeout, and they did not do that. I can come on here and I can blame Caleb Williams, but he's not the head coach. Matt Eberflus is. And I'm pretty sure that he was very aware that they had a timeout remaining, and he did not call the timeout. Things like this are the reason why certain fans believe the NFL is rigged, even though I don't believe that it is rigged. This is just a coach that is not a good head coach in the NFL. And I'm not going to say fire him right now because it is Thanksgiving. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving if you guys do celebrate. If not, happy holidays in general. They should let him go after this season. I'm going to be nice here. Matt Eberflus has been a terrible head coach all season long. He's been horrible. We can go back to the Washington Commanders game. The Hail Mary was not on him. Tyreek Stevenson's out there talking to a fan. He did not know his assignment at the time. He just bats the ball up and they get the Hail Mary win. That's what happened in the Washington Commanders game. But right before that, you have Shane Waldron, an offensive coordinator who Matt Eberflus hired. This is his second offensive coordinator that's been terrible. First it was Luke Getsy. Now it's Shane Waldron. They fired Shane Waldron a couple of weeks ago. They run a play with the offensive lineman. Goal line situation. He fumbles a football. Why are you putting your offensive lineman in that situation? That's more so on Shane Waldron. But the reason why I bring that play up, you hired Shane Waldron. You hired Luke Getsy. 2 bad coordinators. Do you know how bad things have to get for you to fire your coordinator before the season ends? And both Shane Waldron and Luke Getsy got fired before the season ended. Luke Getsy went to the Las Vegas Raiders, got fired over a month ago. Shane Waldron got fired a couple weeks ago. This was terrible game planning early on by the Chicago Bears in the first half. Matt Eberflus wants to play more so through his defense than through his offense. And he said this before with Caleb Williams. He wished on certain plays that he was more conservative. Now you're handcuffing your quarterback that you selected in the first round with the first overall pick. He says similar things about Justin Fields. Just take what the defense gives you and our defense will have your back. He has said that numerous times because he's a defensive head coach. He's a former linebackers coach for the Indianapolis Colts. But when I look at this defense, this is not one of the best defenses in the NFL. They should be. On paper, you have Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, 2 very good cornerbacks. Jalen Johnson is still regarded as one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. You have Montez Sweat, very good pass rusher. He's phenomenal in his own right. Hasn't had the same season this season that he had last season because he's the first player in NFL history to lead two teams in sacks in the same year, the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. But they're not moving Montez Sweat around like how they did last season. And you have DeMarcus Walker. This is back-to-back games that you've lost by a field goal. And you look at certain situations with the Chicago Bears. I understand against the Green Bay Packers, they had a field goal attempt that was blocked late in the game. But you look at Matt Eberflus, why not run another play and get your kicker closer? Coach Belichick has done that before. Mike Tomlin has done that before. Andy Reid does it all the time. Help your kicker out. But instead, Matt Eberflus plays scared and say, you know what? Hey, we're going to kick this field goal right now instead of shaving more time off the clock. And seeing how today's game ended in the debacle that it did, maybe he was making the right decision because he doesn't like to call timeouts, apparently. These are close games that the Chicago Bears could have won if they have better coaching. Another example of how terrible of a coach Matt Eberflus is, you look at that play against the Arizona Cardinals. The man was so afraid of what happened the week before in that Hail Mary situation against the Washington Commanders. This is right before halftime. He backs everyone up. You have 3 safeties deep in the red zone. No one's protecting the run. So the Arizona Cardinals switch over. Let's just run the football with Amari. He gets a 58-yard touchdown off the play right before halftime. And they got completely decimated by the Arizona Cardinals. You're giving teams free points in those situations. Matt Eberflus has always been outcoached, even in the past. But this season has just been terrible. You had a major offensive line problem with Justin Fields. He was one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL when he was playing with the Chicago Bears. The most sacked quarterback in the NFL right now is Caleb Williams. And a lot of it is because he holds onto the football for too long. But you can't come on here and blame Caleb Williams for every single sack. Sometimes he has no time in the pocket and guys just can't get open. With Shane Waldron, there was no pulse to this offense. Caleb Williams is trying to run around and point guys open. Now, with Thomas Brown, it's far from perfect, but you see them run more screens. They're getting the football out quick. They're taking more deep shots down the field to Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, and to DJ Moore. You just can't run into 3 quarterbacks in the first round, and something is wrong with all of them. With Mitch Trubisky, I'll give you that. He was a bust. Matt Nagy was a terrible head coach, and they still made the NFL playoffs. And they would have advanced in the NFL playoffs if it was not for the kicker having the doink situation. I'm telling you, it seems like the Chicago Bears are cursed over the last 10 plus years. Then you move off of Mitch Trubisky and you move off of Matt Nagy. You have Justin Fields, and Justin Fields' rookie season was underneath Matt Nagy. But they bring in Matt Eberflus. You look at Justin Fields, he was not a terrible quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He's not an elite passer. He may never be an elite passer, but he was not the biggest problem with the Chicago Bears. And Ron Poles goes out there. He makes a major trade. They trade the first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers. They bring in DJ Moore, this franchise wide receiver. You get some more draft capital. Then you move on from Justin Fields and you bring in Caleb Williams. It's a repeating cycle. Draft a quarterback in the first round. We have a terrible head coach. Move off that head coach. Bring in a worse head coach. You can't continue to repeat this cycle. You see the flashes that Caleb Williams has. And he's far from being perfect because he still holds onto the football for too long. But he is accurate enough to get you out of a jam. You have DJ Moore. You have a veteran in Keenan Allen. You have Roma Dunze, who I believe you should have not selected in the first round. The wide receiving core was good enough, especially when you talk about Cole Kmet at the tight end spot. And he has so many pass interference plays in this matchup against the Detroit Lions to where it was so frustrating to see. Those pick plays have got to stop in the NFL. I know that it's a short week, but still. Some of these things you have to teach and practice, which I can also blame on Matt Eberflus. Because there's no way that Cole Kmet is in practice when you're running slants and he's setting NBA screens on the field. These are blatant pass interference penalties on Cole Kmet, and it happened repeatedly in this matchup. And he's a very good receiving tight end, by the way. I'm not just trying to go out there and just dunk on him over and over again. He's a very good player. But the coaching has to be better. You have this young team. Improve this offensive line and bring in an offensive-minded head coach. Don't bring in a guy from the Andy Reid tree because you did that with Matt Nagy. But bring in someone. I would love to see Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears. I know if you're a Lions fan, you don't want to hear that, but bring in someone else that could come in and help out Caleb Williams and help build this offense. You have a very good defense on paper. The Chicago Bears, historically, have never had a great offense consecutively over and over again. They're not known for offense through their franchise history. They're known for having great defenses. You have a good defense with the players that I've listed before. And now you have this offense. They're not supposed to be in this situation. But to lose your last 3 games like the ways that you have, from blocked field goal attempts that happened against the Minnesota Vikings and it also happened against the Green Bay Packers, and to lose this game the way you did, that's unacceptable. Matt Eberflus has to go. They have to move off of Matt Eberflus and head into a different direction. And I hate to say that because he has done some good things with the defense in the past. They had a top rushing defense last season. This season, they're in the middle of the road. They give up a lot of big plays on the ground. And part of that is because Matt Eberflus is more so worried about the pass than he is the run. You can say that players haven't stepped up in certain moments, but in the second half, the defense played very well and Caleb Williams played good enough to get them over the hump. And that has been the same song and dance since Thomas Brown has become the offensive play caller. He's going out there, he's doing enough. And Caleb Williams is not turning the football over. That's one thing he's done a great job of over the last month is take care of the football. Sure, he'll hold on to the football for too long. He may rush himself into sacks. He's a rookie. That's going to happen. He's not 100% blameless in this situation. But one thing I know for sure, Matt Eberflus is a terrible head coach, and he has cost them football games all year long. And he cost them this game against the Detroit Lions. You guys have to go back and watch this game, but not to call a timeout with 30 seconds remaining when your quarterback takes a sack? That's ridiculous. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about Matt Eberflus and the Chicago Bears? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Have a blessed day. God bless. Peace.